Okay, welcome back. In our last class, we ended the class with a function having multiple parameters, okay? But I want to make something I want to bring something to your notice. As we have written it this way, okay, like I said, you can have more than one parameter, more than two parameters, okay? And you actually separate it with comma. Now, the thing is this. There's something we call, when we talk about parameters, okay, what we have done here is that we have given a positional parameter. Now, our parameters there are positional. How do I mean? If you look at it now, this is the first one. So they will follow in this order: first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Okay, so they are called positional parameters. And it is a good one to write your functions like this. But the thing is this. If you do it this way, okay, what if you misplace? Okay, now let's call this. Let me show you. Okay, let's call this function. I will have the results here. And I will call the sum, and I will give it the first number. The first number I will say is 2. The second number I will say is 7. Okay, and that will be it. So I can print. In this case, there will be no issue, even if we swap the positions. Let's say 2 times 7 is 14. Even if I say 7 times 2, it will still give me 14. So in this case, there will be no problem, okay? But what if we have a function like this? Let's say we have a function. Let me remove this assignment here. Let's say we have a function like this. I want a function that I will ask you for your first name and your last name and your title, okay? And you know that titles can be optional. I might have a title, I might not have a title. I choose not to have if I don't want to, okay? So let's write a function that can take your first name, last name, and your title, and then print it out for you. Now, let's do this thing. Since I am printing it out, I'm not going to have a return type, so I can use the void keyword, and I will say, I will call it print names, okay? I will call it print name. All right, and I open my parentheses. The first parameter, I will call it first name. I will call it first name. The second parameter is also going to be a string, and I will call it last name. The third parameter is also going to be a string, and I will call it title. Okay, so I will simply print first name. I'll put it in a string. Okay, and I believe you remember this: first name, last name. Okay, and okay, I will have to start with title because I will be like Mr. So I will start with title and give a space. So look at this function now, okay? This function takes your first name, last name, and your title, and it prints it out. So if I call this function here, I believe by now you understand what I mean by calling a function. So the Visual Studio is actually helping me, okay? But let's say if Visual Studio wasn't, okay, if I call this, let's say my first name is Paulson, okay? My last name is Nwoha, and my title is let's say Mr. All right? If I run this function now, of course, I'm going to get it will run it for me, and I'm going to get Mr. Paulson 1. All right? Now, remember we are talking about positional parameters, okay? And I'm bringing this to your notice because if you don't understand this, it might put into trouble that it will take a lot of time to actually fix. So this is their positional. Look at it. The first name this, the last name this. What if I now say the first in when I'm calling the function, I put Mr. here, put one here, and now put person. What if I swap? If I run this now, look at what is going to print for me. But this is not what I expected. This is not what I want. So because it is positional, whatever you must provide the arguments in the respective positions of the arguments. Okay. So, but when we did the sum, when we called the sum and swapped it, there was no difference because 7 times 2, 2 times 7, both of them will give us 9. All right, so it doesn't matter. But right now you can see the positions matter now. So this is why I'm bringing this into your notice. In the next video, we are going to talk more on how to do named parameters, optional parameters, and required parameters, and so. But right now, I just wanted to understand. Okay, I don't want you to fall into this pit. Okay, so using positional parameters is okay. All right, it's okay, but you can see the disadvantage. All right, you can see the disadvantage. I want to print title, first name, and last name, Mr. Person 1. But because I didn't get the positions right, and I'm printing person Mr. 1, it doesn't make sense. So in the next video, we are going to be talking about optional parameters. Okay, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.